What's up, my dudes, and welcome back to another Battlegrounds video. But today is gonna be a little bit of a different video. And that is because I wanted to make like a little beginner's guide. Because looking back, when I first started playing this game a week ago or two, I can't remember, I thought to myself, what am I supposed to do? And there's like no explanations, and that was kinda cool. But at the same time, I wished I knew what some items do. For example, I didn't know what energy drinks do or what painkillers do. I just knew they did something and it was helpful. So I wanna like try to give you a little head start over other new players and teach you what I learned so far. So I got a couple points. You're gonna have the following structure. We're gonna go from the start of a round all the way until the end and all the in betweens. So my first point is gonna be, where should you jump out the plane? Now you might think to yourself, wait a minute, the sooner I jump out, the sooner I land, and the quicker I get loot. And that train of thought is not wrong, but at the same time it's very dangerous as well. But if you're like a high risk, high reward guy, please go ahead, do that. But what I like to do is, I would like to call this the more like tactic approach to this game, is I want to look at the map when I jump into the game. I just look what's the direction the plane's going, what's the route it's taken. So then I look if there's any like big cities around, and if I couldn't reach them with my parachute if I jumped out and took that extra mileage, or I look for like little towns. The middle of the map is littered with little towns that are really good looting spots. Obviously, you're not gonna get any high grade shit, or very rarely. But it's a good place to start. So, what I like to do is go like to little towns that are far away from the bigger towns. But not even far away, just, I mean, for example, you're gonna fly over Zaki, and the end point of that route is Novorepnoy or whatever it's called. And on the way there, there's like at least 3 dozens of little towns that are worth checking out. Everything that has like 4 houses plus is a good spot to start. What you should try to achieve here is start in one of those towns, see if you find a car, and then and then just loot that town in peace. Especially if you're alone. If you're alone, you can take all your time you want in that town, and if you have a car, even more time. And then you just drive off into the circle once you have to. So yeah, try to look for those little towns and try to see, once you jump out, you can see other people jump out as well. So look around you. Look, is anyone else going to this town? Is anyone around? Can I go to the bigger town over there because there's only like one guy jumping there? Because that's so good. That town's not gonna be overrun with people. So just keep that in mind. Don't just jump out because, oh yeah, I can jump out now, or oh, I feel like jumping out now. No, look on the map. Look for a little town where you want to go. Obviously, if you if you go into like those bigger towns, you find more loot. But then again, you don't even have that much time. You gotta move soon as well. The game's not gonna wait for you to be happy with your equipment and then say, okay, let's mark the next play area. No. And another advantage of jumping out in the middle is that you have shorter ways to the next play area. For example, if you jump out in Zarki and the fucking circle is gonna be around the Sosnovka military base, and you don't have a car, you're fucked. I mean, of course you can run, and you're probably gonna do it, but there's like this river which you have to cross and everything. So what you want to do is jump out in the middle, because then you got more reaction time. If you jump out of a Roshog, for example, it doesn't matter if the circle is gonna be in Sosnovka military base, over Stalba, over Zorki. It doesn't matter because you're gonna be there at the same time. Like there's no difference if you go to Stalba or Sosnovka military base. You know what I mean? So yeah, choose your landing spots and be clear about them. You can't just change it mid-flight. I mean, you could, but there's not many places you could go apart from where you wanted originally to go. Alright. The second point I wanted to elaborate is looting. I mean, once you land it, you want to obviously get going and then survive till the end. But another thing I've seen quite a lot of times is people loot the wrong things to begin with. I mean, that's another point, but I'm gonna scrap it slightly now, and that's your clothes. I've seen so many people spawn in nude, like it's just gonna put you at a disadvantage, my dude. Just spawn in with the clothes you got, even if you don't like them. I mean, unless you like getting fucked over and basically can't not being able to loot anything, then fine, spawn without clothes. But every piece of clothes item, every accessory you can equip has some sort of capacity. And the more capacity you have, the more you can carry in your inventory. That's how the inventory system works. Your capacity is the amount of things. Every item takes a certain amount of capacity, and once you reach your maximum capacity, obviously you can't carry anymore. And then you're fucked. And if you don't spawn with any clothes on, your capacity is gonna be 0. I mean, a t-shirt gives you how much? 10 capacity. And even fucking goggles or glasses give you 10 or 20 capacity. That's not that's just some extra bullets you can carry. There's no point in not taking them. Like those extra bullets might be the difference between life and death for you. So please, just spawn them with the clothes you have, and if you jump out and get into a building, you don't have to worry about the clothes anymore. Of course, if you find like a jacket, a parka, a coat, pick that up. That gives you just hella capacity. For example, a parka gives you like 100 capacity, a coat, I think as well, and that's already like 1/4 of a level 2 backpack. A level 2 backpack has 400 capacity, a coat has 100. If you do the math, that's just a hell of a lot more capacity that you could shove a medkin in, fucking bullets, anything really. And that brings me to the next point, or back to the first point, and that is looting in the beginning. When you get in, you don't want to look at the shoes that are there on the floor. It doesn't matter if you have your high tops on, work boots, fucking, I don't know. You could be running around in flip flops. They're probably gonna have as much capacity than the other shoes. It doesn't matter. Just go in there, grab a gun, grab a vest, grab a backpack, and then look in your surrounding areas if there's any people there that could be dangerous. And once you know no one's in the house with you, no one's gonna rush your house, and there's no one in the same town as you, just go loot further. You can change clothes then if you want. I mean, obviously, like I said, if you don't have a coat that you spawn in with, pick up a coat if you see one. It would be stupid to let him fucking rest there. And the next thing is, back to the capacity part again, don't pick up any accessories that you don't need. For example, in the footage I'm showing you, this guy had like 3 chokes. Like, what's the point of that, my dude? What did you try to achieve in that? What else did he have? Let me check real quick. He had an extended mag for SMGs, extended mag for RAs and S12s, a cheek pad for sniper rifles, extended mag for SKS. I mean, sure, good accessories can make the difference, like a good scope, sure. If you put a good scope on your fucking scour or whatever, sure, you're gonna have an advantage. But You don't want to necessarily pick up like those, what's it called? You don't want to pick up those fucking attachments that have no use for you. For example, he was running around with a, what did he add? Let me check real quick. He had a shotgun and a scar. He didn't need the chokes. He didn't need 3 chokes. Like, what's the point? He didn't have an SMG. He didn't need those SMG accessories. And he didn't have an S12K or an AR or a sniper rifle. So he could have left those behind and probably taken a medkit more or some more bandages, you know? And it's just extra time he wasted picking those things up. It's like, I mean, sure, if you have the time, but there's no point in having those attachments if you don't have the gun for it. And usually when you find someone with that gun you got the attachments for, he usually has these attachments, because those are not rare attachments. If you pick up a suppressor for a pistol when you don't have a pistol, that's alright, because suppressors are hella rare. Or an 8x scope. 8x scopes are rare as well. 4x scopes, alright, they're like, okay. But don't pick up a choke 3 times for the S686. There's no fucking sense in that. So, focus on suppressors and everything above 8x scopes. Like, that's the only things you should actually pick up if you see them, even if you don't have the right gun for it. And another thing is, what most people don't take into acknowledgement is grenades. In the footage I'm showing you, you can see that a stun grenade is really strong. It blinds the guy for like solid 3 seconds, 5 seconds, I don't know. Gotta put a timer there. You will know once you watch the video. I'm gonna put a timer there so you know. And in that time you can't see anything. You probably can't hear anything either. Couldn't test that out sadly, because I didn't want to alert anyone to my presence there. But try to use it. I mean, some people don't expect it, so use that to advantage. Grenades in general, most people don't pick them up. So many times I see houses looted, go through, and I find so many grenades in there. They give you a huge tactical advantage, especially if you play in a group. Pick up grenades. Smoke grenades, they can cover your ass really good. Stun grenades, if you want to clear a room, throw a stun grenade in there. But you should probably throw 2 in there just to be sure. In a timey, like, I can't think of the word. In a short time frame. So the first one goes off, and then they turn around, and then the second one goes off. So you still stun them even though they thought they evaded it. Grenades for clearing rooms as well. If someone holds up in a house, throw a grenade in there. Or a fucking Molotov, whatever. Anything that forces him to switch positions. The next thing is energy drinks and painkillers. I'm not really sure what they do, but my experience so far is that you take less damage once you have them inside you. So before you go into a firefight and you actually have the time to prepare, obviously, always put an energy drink and maybe painkillers as well inside you. It's just gonna help you out. Which brings me to the next point, firefights and cover. Cover while moving especially. Like, most people just run over a fucking field. I mean, there's so many open fields, but then again, there's so many good places that you could move along. Like, if you have the time and you're not like outside the play zone, obviously, try to move inside forests or areas with a high density of stones or boulders. So, I mean, any extra cover is gonna save your life, maybe. But always try to avoid open fields. Obviously, when you have a car, you're gonna be a moving target anyways. People are gonna know where you are if they're not deaf. And you're gonna get shot at. It's like, it's the curse you got with the car. But then again, you can move faster as well with the car, which is, I think it's a good trade-off. Alright. But then again, you're not just taking cover while moving. The next point is cover while waiting, or if you're like camping somewhere. I don't know, whatever you do when you sit somewhere and you need cover. Maybe you just need cover to take a medkit, who knows. But what you want to do is either you blend in, or you're completely covered with your cover. For example, there's no point in sitting on top of a rock. It just makes you stand out. Because your silhouette, what you should try to achieve is that you blend in with the silhouette of the rocks. Like, sit next to it, but close, so you can still shoot from behind the rock. But you're not that visible. I mean, I'm gonna try to visualize this on the screen here. I don't know, let's see, I had some footage of that as well. Anyways, my next point is, I'm gonna show you some footage of that as well in the background. Moving while you're inside a house, or while in cover. You can see me sitting behind this piece of wall, and I'm barely moving at all because I know there's a guy on that balcony because I can see him move around like crazy. And I'm just sitting there not moving because I'm scared something of me is picking up when I move around. That's why I use the Alt key to look around, which is perfectly fine to use that while you do it. That's what it's for. Use the Alt key to rotate your head and you'll feel a view without moving your body. That's just essential. You don't make any noise either while doing it. Because if you just move around like that, you can't do like prone though. That's kind of a downside, but it makes sense. Especially when you're in a house. Footsteps in a house are so loud, you won't believe it. If you have a decent headset, you can hear all those footsteps and people are just smacking about with their tims and you're just thinking, whoa, slow down here, kiddo. The fucking house is gonna collapse if you stump around some more. And then you're just sitting there waiting, waiting for them to pop up. So don't move around that much when you're in cover while you're waiting. I mean, put yourself in a position where you have a good view of whatever you want to watch. I mean, for example, if you're inside a house, put yourself in a position, obviously you gotta have the right house for that, where you can look out most of the windows, so you can cover most of the angles. I mean, obviously if you have to move to go to a window to shoot a guy, then go there and shoot the guy. But then again, you want to make sure to pick fights you can win. There's no point in giving away your position if you can't kill the guy at least to a 90%. Like for example, there's a guy out in the open field and you're thinking, I can take that shot, but the guy's like a kilometer away. There's no point in shooting at him. You just, first of all, you're giving away position, especially in the later stages of the game. And second of all, you're just wasting ammo. Ammo you might as well use to kill a kid. So, pick your fights. There's no dishonor in not killing that guy that ran off the field over there, just because you wanted to be like, oh, extra kill. No. Just relax, you know? Same as with the blue wall. Don't get too intimidated by the blue wall, obviously. The fucking force wall is gonna kill you if you're too long outside of it. But if one route's unsafe to go while you're inside the play zone, and you would only be like half a minute outside the play zone to go around the building or something, do that. I mean, it's obviously you're gonna get damage, but in the long term you might flank that guy that is camping you, and you get that kill. Yeah. The trade-off is big obviously you gotta surprise him. So, well, how you do that is situational. Can't tell you how to do it. Yeah, that and that should have been all my points. If you have any additions to the points I made, or have any corrections to me, please feel free to write them in the comments. I always read my comments. I usually answer as well if you have a comment I can answer to. But if you're interested in a discussion or just want to say your opinion to the video, please feel free to post it down in the comments below. It will make me happy to read your comment and to see your opinion about my video.